Hi, this is Dr. Lisa Abell for PureMedicine.com, and today I want to talk to you about why we want to treat fevers, colds, and flus naturally and what's really going on inside the body. So let's start with fevers. When a child has a fever and it's a low fever, what that means is that a child doesn't have a strong enough immune response. We really want a fever to be over 102.9, and the reason for that is because when we have a fever over that point, the fever becomes bacteriolytic, meaning it actually kills bacteria in the body. Under that, it can be, for example, bacteriostatic, but kind of like yeast growing in a warm environment, having a low-grade fever actually allows bacteria to grow. So we don't want to have that sort of response. Oftentimes when a child mounts a high fever and we give the child Tylenol, then it becomes a low-grade fever, like 100, 101, and we're actually allowing the bacteria to reproduce better than stop the fever. Okay? A fever is merely like a warning sign in the body, and we want to support those processes rather than turn them off. And oftentimes when we take something like Tylenol or an anti-inflammatory, when we have a fever, it actually shuts off or turns off like a light switch our immune system. It also adds to the toxic load of the liver. In 2009, the FDA put out a report that said that taking Tylenol was the most common form of receiving liver failure. And that's pretty amazing. We know then by taking these sorts of anti-inflammatories, we're actually adding to the toxic load of our liver and we're stopping immune function rather than supporting these physiological processes. What Dr. Abell and I do and help our patients to learn is how to treat a fever, a cold, and a flu naturally to support the draining or the detoxification of the organism in order to restore balance or homeostasis. So when we have a mom that learns how to treat a fever, she's actually helping that child take out its trash rather than suppressing the immune system and allowing the trash to then accumulate inside. Because if that keeps happening and we continue to suppress our acute diseases, what eventually will happen is that those toxins stay in the body and the trash can accumulates, and thereby we get more chronic disease. And we don't want to have chronic diseases. It's much better to have acute diseases. And when we learn how to treat these colds and flus and fevers correctly with ourselves and our children, our body is going to literally step by step help us remove the trash that's in us. And we do this with different forms of drainage, homeopathy, and natural support and supplements depending on the individual and depending on what's going on. But oftentimes mothers and parents can easily and effortlessly learn these simple techniques in order to quickly and effectively support the body's removal of toxins and not shut off immune function and add to the toxic load of the liver. With a cold, if we don't have a fever and a child then goes directly to having a snotty nose, this is not a good thing. This means that the child's immune system hasn't developed correctly. And oftentimes Dr. Abell and I want to restore that immune function again over time. But first, we want to look at that condition and see that the toxins in the body are overflowing and they're moving out toward the sinuses or the lungs or the ears, rather than having the toxins be eliminated by the primary organs of elimination, which is through our stool and through our urine, and having a good healthy filter with our liver to detoxify those toxins via the intestines. So I hope this was helpful, and this is Dr. Lisa Abell for PureMedicine.com.